Okay, so here in this race we have Psyched versus MooseSR, who's got some very close PBs. We have Psyched, who has a 31-24, and Moose, who has a 31-18, so hopefully we'll be seeing a very close race today. Already getting started off in the city. Since these are top-level runners, top 10, not seeing a lot of differences so far. Just using the main dash mechanics, using hyper dashes, super dashes or dash jumps, whatever you want to call them, wall bounces, all getting through city pretty fast. No major mistakes. Ooh, death for Psyched. That's fine. Some short death at the beginning of the screen. Not a lot of these city deaths are very fast. Or, excuse me, not a lot of these city deaths take a lot of time.
Hopefully I got my mic set up. Let me know if you guys can hear me in chat.
Yep, I can hear you, FC.
Alright, perfect. Thank you. Sorry about that. It's been quite some time. Forgot all my setup and everything.
Yeah, it happens. So, a pretty close finish between Psyched and Moose for Chapter 1. Moose messed up the strat at the end of the last screen that actually is platforming Chapter 1, kind of evening out the death that was earlier on for Psyched.
And again, folks, as a reminder, this is a best of 3 match now that we are in top 8. So after this race is over, don't leave, as we will have at least one more match, hopefully 2. So far, the top 8 has been very exciting. We've had Black Pear versus M Sushi, and that was a very great race this morning. Both these runners are moving very well through Old Site here. Old Site, for the most part, is pretty optimized, so you're going to see a lot of the same kind of movement and strats from both players.
Especially since these are high-level players, beginning of the game, it's all pretty clear-cut.
Yeah, especially with the amount of practice that everyone's put in. For the most part, it's just like the route is almost automatic. So one thing that'll be interesting is if there's like a mishap or like a misdash, to see how someone can recover from that. So far, they're looking pretty good, neck and neck here as we head into the last screen of the Battle and Chase.
And it looks like we didn't have any unfortunate deaths on that last screen. Sometimes if you mess up your movement at the end there, battling just kind of gets in your way because you're not used to the different spots that she can be in, and deaths on that screen can cost quite a lot for being so early in the game. So good that we didn't see any of those.
Yeah, so now we're moving into the awake section here. There's not a real threat here, but movement is very important. So we'll see how both players manage through this. Any mishaps can cause a lead change or extend out, so... Wow, it was like a mirror image. That was very impressive from both runners there.
Yeah, not a lot of time difference across Chapter 2.
This looks like Moose is taking maybe a small break here. I'm not too sure. But Psyched is heading into Chapter 3. Now, Psyched was practicing this, I saw in the, pre-race screen. So maybe we'll see some new strats. Actually, speaking of strats, we do have some new tech that was discovered earlier this month, the Demo Dash, and it's definitely applicable in Chapter 3. We'll see if either runner is going to go for it, because it is really new.
Yeah. And the basics of what that tech is, in case you're not aware, it pretty much just allows you to dash while having a smaller vertical hitbox. So rather than being some amount greater than 4 pixels tall, you're 4 pixels tall during a dash.
Yes, and then with some of the obstacles like the dust bunnies here, there's actually a 4 pixel gap that you can get away scot-free without taking a death. So kind of lucked out that her Madeline's hitbox is 4 pixels high and we have a 4 pixel gap. So it is a little difficult because you have to be pixel perfect, but with good practice, it's definitely doable to pull off. I have seen a few runners go for it.
Yeah, and to be clear, there's only really one spot people will actually go for it in, because it's, ooh, rough depth for Psyched. Well, not really that rough, pretty close to the beginning of the screen. But there's only one spot people actually really go for the strat in. There are other spots that it could be applied in various chapters, but since it's so difficult, we only use it in one spot that saves a particularly large amount of time.
Yes, I believe you skip technically 3 screens and a death warp. So on the downside, of course, we miss out on the super awesome quad hyper dash to get the key skip, but you know, I'd rather save time than to show off some cool tech like that.
Yeah, and speaking of cool tech, there's a spike wall jump. You're not jumping off the spikes, jumping off the wall behind the spikes. Spikes only will hurt you if you're moving in the direction that would be like pointing at you. So if you're moving with the direction that the spikes are pointed in, you won't get hurt by them. Sorry if that was confusing.
Oh no, you nailed that perfectly. So we got through the crates section. Now we're in the books. Both runners, you know, again, this not too far behind. Actually, we are not synced up because Moose did take a little bit of a break here. So even though Psyched is a little bit of ahead, Moose is actually ahead by about 10 seconds.
Yeah, it looks about 10. Still very close though. A lot of times Resort is where you can see some of the gaps and races widen. We'll see if that happens here, because right now it's still looking pretty close.
Oh, Moose taking a death there.
Make it a little bit closer, indeed.
Alright, I'll try to get a timestamp here. So Psyched clocking in at 6:45, clearing out his huge mess.
Ooh, that was looking close on Moose's side. Almost took a death. Ooh, probably was not used to those cycles, but handled it well.
And actually, Moose clocked in at 6:45 also, so we are just about even here. As Psyched is moving into the elevator shaft portion, we're going to see if he's going to go for the demo dash here. And it looks like we are getting a sync, folks.
Yeah, definitely nicer to watch when the clocks are synced, so that's good. Alright, so this next screen for both of our runners, at the end of the screen, we'll get to see if they're going to go for it. And Psyched is not, and Moose is not. That's understandable. If you messed up a couple times, you can start really losing a lot of time. Just because, you know, say you messed up 4 times, you've already committed, so you just keep going for it. But if you keep messing it up, there's not really a whole lot you can do.
That is true. I think in game 1, it is good to try to go with what you know. But depending on who wins and who loses, if they actually do feel comfortable going for the demo dash, we might see that in the second game. So now we are on Oshiro here. And again, this is somewhat optimized too. You know, you got Oshiro trying to chase everybody down. He's going to give you a tail before he launches an attack. Wow.
Oh, the sync is crazy.
Right now, oh my god. This is like the best part of all of the top 8. How in sync everything is. Look at this. I don't even need to fuse. I can just look at one or the other and it's like nearly the same.
Alright, hopefully this last screen will be nice. Oop. Looked a little close for Psyched. Alright, Moose gets through, Psyched gets through.
Alright, so we got a 4-second difference here as we head into Golden Ridge. And at this point of the race, like from here to the end, we're gonna see those like possible lead changes back and forth because there's a lot of opportunity to sneak in an ultra here or there, or especially like in Reflection, for example, you have an alternate route to take. You know, top route is a little bit faster in one of the sections, so we'll see how the runners handle this.
Ooh, that was a nice corner boost from Moose. I don't think I've ever seen that before. And corner boosting, in case you don't know, it's if you jump at the top of a corner while holding grab, the top 3 pixels, and you jump, then you kind of retain, oh, death for Moose, you retain a lot of your speed and move past the corner. So it can be a really nice way to optimize some screens.
I like to take a moment to reflect on Psyched's screen, where he was in that giant green bubble room and did a little bit of a different route there and saved some time there. It kind of caught me by surprise.
There's just another nice application of that spike wall jump. Ooh, a death for Psyched on the auto-scroller. That definitely costly death. Oh, is able to save it on the second time though. Certainly giving up a lot of his lead from Moose though.
Yeah, and that is definitely one of the challenges in Golden Bridge. This chapter is particularly short, and there's a lot of time save that can happen in each chapter, or excuse me, each room, excuse me. But with some of these auto-scroller skips, you run the risk of like losing a lot of time if something goes wrong. Almost taking a death there, falling into the spikes.
Psyched knowing what to do if he messes up that strat. It looked like he did not get what he was going for, but was able to back it up. Ooh, short death there, that's fine. Oh dear.
I wonder if he is feeling the pressure. Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Psych having a little bit of trouble here in the second auto scroller skip here. See if we can get his bearings here. And again, even with the mishaps here, it's not that far off. He's like maybe a screen or 2 behind.
Yeah, looking like 2 screens-ish behind.
Yeah, definitely looks like Psyched is trying to slow down just a little bit. I saw in a few screens back, so looks like he's getting himself a little more composed. And we'll see how this goes as we head into the final section here for Golden Ridge.
Yeah, meanwhile, it looks like Moose has had a pretty nice cliff face section so far. A little bit of sloppiness, but it's really difficult to do this part correctly. At least no deaths, no major deaths at least. I might have missed one. No major deaths so far. Hopefully you can get through this last screen. It's looking good, yeah.
Excellent time from Moose, clocking in at a 3:04 for Golden Ridge. Psych heading into the last screen here too. It looks like he's clocking in at a 3:18 for Golden Ridge.
So, lost some time over Moose there, but certainly, definitely not over yet. It's a lot of game left, not even halfway through yet.
Yes, and again, this is a best of 3, so just because someone loses the first game does not mean they are out. They can make a great comeback here as we are moving into Mirror Temple. Now, Mirror Temple, you have the option of either doing 5A, or some runners prefer to do to grab the cassette and clear 5B. I'm not sure if either runner is comfortable with trying to go that route. We'll find out soon enough, but we might have to change the audio if Moose decides to go 5B so we can hear that fantastic remix.
And to be clear, the reason why that is because if you clear the B side, even if you haven't cleared the A side, the next A side still unlocks.
That is correct. It looks like Moose might have not went for the yeet strat, but I think Psyched did. I wasn't paying too much attention, so I might have missed it.
I don't believe he did, or I was kind of looking at Psyched's screen.
Moose getting ready to go to the secret portion here. And again, it looks like Psyched might be catching up a little bit. We'll have to wait and see. I'll get a time here as Madeline enters the mirror. Alright, so Moose clocking in at 13:16. And Psych at 13:26, so I think a little bit of time was saved there.
Yeah, because he was probably about 15-ish seconds behind going into Temple.
And then again, we have the Theo section that is coming up too. That is an opportunity to have a lead change happen. So we'll see how the runners handle that portion here. As we head into Unraveling.
See, that's a nice strat there. You'll probably see it coming up on Psych's screen, but Moose just did it where you can... Almost looks like you jump off the bottom of the spikes, but you're just jumping off of the wall that doesn't have any spikes on it there.
Oh, Moose missing one of the key locks there. Able to recover. That is going to give Psych a little bit of an edge here if he can clear this room.
Ooh. Looks like what Psyched was going for. Oh, didn't look like what he was intending for.
So they are about a room apart.
Looked like Moose wanted to have the Seeker break that red block, like Psyched just did. Had to adjust a little bit, but he was fine.
Alright, so Moose is heading into Search. We're going to see a Search skip here, which basically avoids you grabbing a bunch of keys. He nails that very nicely. We're having that coming up on Psych's screen as well. Oh, that Seeker looks like to not appear where Psych wanted it to.
Yeah,
but
definitely not where I usually have the Seeker when I go through that room.
Alright, Moose is the first to head into the Theo portion here. So amazingly, Madeline's going to be hauling Theo around to escape the temple. See if we got some ultra strats here. It looks like it.
Oh, and another notable thing, since we mentioned the demo dash earlier and how you can dash through spikes, you might have noticed how there were spikes to the left of Theo, and you might be wondering, oh, why don't you just demo dash through those? You can skip that whole section on the left. But with those spikes specifically, if I understand correctly, there's an invisible wall in addition to the spikes, so you just hit the invisible wall and die if you tried to demo dash through them.
Oh, okay. It makes me wonder that little bit of information if the developers were aware of the amount of hit, the 4-pixel opening in the 4-pixel hitbox of Madeline.
Or at least aware of the potential of possibly getting through the spikes.
Wow, it looks like Psych has caught up. Oh, and actually taking the lead.
Oh!
But now Psych having a little bit of trouble
on
too.
This last eye screen. A lot of times I feel like people overlook this screen, but it's really important. You can see Moose was really far behind, but just on that last screen he made it all back up.
Yeah, well, Psych is
not all. The timer's a little off, but pretty much all of it.
That was a crazy Chapter 5. Oh my goodness. Alright, so now Moose heading into... actually, Moose and Psych, excuse me, both heading into Reflection here. We get the new mechanic of the golden feathers here to allow you to navigate in a lot of great places. Also, it's omnidirectional, so analog sticks come into play. On Moose's screen, he's going for leg skip, getting it first try. That is a nice 4 or 5 second time save there. Let's see if Psych can get that as well. He also gets that first try too. you have a little bit of a desync here, so you're going to want to pay attention to those in-game timers that are located in the cassette tapes on each runner's screen. Still feels like a really close race.
Death for Moose. Seems like it shouldn't be too long of a death, though. There's just a nice strat in case you don't know why they're doing that. Like grabbing the block and making it fall. Otherwise, the block, the crush block, or Kevin block as we usually call them, it would crash into it and stop, and you'd have to go hit it again and have it accelerate back that way. So it just keeps it at full speed the entire way through. Ooh, that was a nice ultra strat from Psyched. I don't know if I explained ultras, but if you dash down and right, you'll retain the speed you had before that point, so just does a hyper dash, and then does an ultra right after that. It's really...
Well, with Psyched trying to skip that first bumper there, if you bunny hop into that screen, it is possible to skip that first bumper with a nice diagonal dash. Timing is a little tight, but again, it's very early in the screen, so death is not too penalizing. Alright, Moose getting ready to go into the ravine portion of Reflection here.
Yeah, looks like he's talking to Grandma at 1909. Death on Psyched's screen. Let's see where he is.
Yeah, it looks like, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Save it. I believe. I believe.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go.
1913, 1914 for Psych, so still very close.
Alright, Moose getting through the ravine portion here.
And I so almost looked like Psyched was gonna die on that falling section there, but he didn't. Those nice developer-intended shortcuts there that you can take. However, on the last one, since you have to move a little bit in the fall, and you don't get any checkpoints on the way down if you take the other shortcuts, if you die there, you have to do that whole room from the end of the Kevin block again, so it's a really bad time loss. Fortunately, he avoided it. Oh, almost a death for Psyched.
In the battling fight here. The objective here basically is we're trying to avoid battling, shooting lasers and these homing orbs, and just making contact with her to clear each screen. This portion also is very optimized. You're probably going to see the same strats from both runners, and this is really going to boil down to maintaining composure and just not taking any deaths. Like, strategy-wise, they're about the same. You might see a little variance here or there, yeah. But
especially this screen Moose is on, he might do something crazy here. Oh, that was really close. That thing he just went for, just chaining a lot of ultras together really fast. It's extremely difficult. Let's see if Psyched does something like that.
Look like
he does. Still like I guess the second fastest strat for that room. Very nice. I don't know what the exact time difference is, but it's not a ton.
And Psyched catching up here. If Moose is able to stay consistent, he should be okay, but any death right here is going to either extend or lose a lead. So we got like this final screen here before we head into the second portion of the battling fight on Moose's screen. Psyched right on his tail.
It looks like Psyched might be ahead a little bit. I'll just get a check going into this screen where the music changes at 21:42 for Moose. And oh yeah, Psyched is definitely going to be ahead. 21:34:35.
So in the second portion of the battling fight, we have these bricks. They basically kind of move back and forth thanks to Battle's super telekinesis powers or something. This section is a lot shorter than the previous one, but it's very intimidating.
Yes, these long screens, they're not particularly difficult. See, at least the strats. Oh, that was a looks like and Misdirect from Psych, luckily, did not result in a death, though. So if you die on these screens, sometimes it can be really bad. You can lose like 15, maybe not 15. You lose a lot of time. 10-ish seconds.
Both runners opting to not try to get the cycle skip in the last turn here.
Definitely respectable in a race.
Alright, so both runners now have it leveled up. Yeah, we'll see if we can get a sync going into Summit here.
That would be nice. Especially because it's unlikely that they get desynced from the start of Summer, or desynced a lot. Because in-game time doesn't run between the chapter transitions, like right when it stops being all like pixely stuff, the timer's not running anymore. Shoutouts to pixely stuff.
Alright, so Summit is basically the run back on climbing the mountain. After what happened in Chapter 6, we are at the base again, and we're basically going to be revisiting each area that we have traveled through until we get to the summit.
Ooh, misdirect on Moose's side.
So each portion is divided up into small sections of screens. We're going to see all the game gimmicks come back. And also, the stages are optimized for the fact that we have 2 dashes now. So you're going to see probably more ultras, especially the 1000 section, which is a recap of Chapter 2. You're going to see some cool tech where we actually perform a hyper dash out of dream blocks. And just a whole bunch of exciting stuff here. So buckle up, kids.
It's a nice reverse super jump or dash jump there. It's harder than it looks, honestly. A lot of stuff in this game's harder than it looks.
And Psyched had a little bit of hang up in the key switch room. Ran into a wall that he didn't want to. Was able to recover without death, but... Alright, so we are getting a sync, folks. Give us a better idea on where we are standing here.
Oh, and we can start to see some Dream Block hypers from Psyched.
So I believe now Psyched is... He's got a nice comfortable lead here, but again, with some of the areas that are coming up, that can change in a heartbeat. Most notably 1500, probably one of the most difficult sections in the game.
Yeah,
particularly with 2 long rooms.
Yeah, there's long rooms, there's cycles in those long rooms. So cycles, they start when you enter the screen. So if you mess up a strat earlier on in the screen, all the cycles are going to be totally different than what you're used to. So it can be disaster sometimes if you don't know how to adapt.
That is very true. I have seen some falters happen in the triple ultra room, which is near the end of 1500. Just because, again, the cycle is different, so that strat doesn't work if you're on a death cycle. Most runners opt to backtrack one screen and then try to get the regular cycle.
Oh! The death on some next screen.
And that's gonna get
Still has this nice cushion of a lead, though. So he's still ahead.
Now Moose is in the same room, too, as Psyched is leaving.
Not familiar with the strat that Psyched does there. Not sure if that was just a backup strat or he just does something different there. A nice triple ultra screen from Psyched.
Moose also
and Moose nails it as well.
Psyched heading into 2000, Moose hot on his tail.
Yeah, both runners making it out of 1500. Quite close.
Yeah,
You'll love to see it.
this could come down to 3,000 with how well both runners are handling each portion here.
At this point, I'm wondering if the runners are watching the stream, maybe glancing over at the end of each section, seeing how close they are. Might be some nerves. Oh! A death for Moose. And a death for Psyched on the auto-scroller. Hopefully that wasn't some commentator's curse going on.
That actually really closed the gap here.
Ooh. Psyched going for some swag. I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Both runners are basically staying in the same screen here. A death and or just a mistake on the routing here could be very costly as we head into 2500. Home of the infamous door skip. Which I'm pretty sure we're going to see that. Oh.
Psyched, able to recover. Didn't look like he was doing the strat he wanted to.
Yeah, it looked like he didn't get on top of that pillar as quick as he wanted to.
Ooh, death for Moose. Still able to adjust fine, though. Sometimes people can have trouble in that room, as a lot of times most strats will hyper dash into that room, and since the blocks move when you dash, sometimes people aren't aware of how to adapt starting in that room. At least, I'm usually not. And there's Psyched threading the needle. I feel like that gets overlooked a lot. That's... Oh! Psyched messing up door skip. Oh no! Come on, Psyched.
Oh no.
Come on, Psyched!
Nice adjustment.
Oh, he's just
I respect the move.
To not skip the doors. Very nice. Door skip is very good. And, oh no, Moose!
Oh no, Moose.
Come on, Moose!
Running, yeah. Thread the needle, Moose.
Come on, Moose, you got this.
There we go.
It's definitely proving how difficult thread the needle is. I said, you know, don't want to overlook it. Still on the same screen though, going into 3000. You never know what'll happen.
Yeah, with 3000, we now have these flags that are basically checkpoints. Some of the most notable flags, like flag 14 and flag 13, those sections are very long, and a death is very detrimental to your run. So, as close as it is, anything can happen here, folks. This is probably one of the most closest races that I've commentated. I'm like trying to keep it together and being composed, but like I really just want to like get super hype right now.
Oh, come on, Psyched. I didn't see if he skipped the flag before. Oh, come on, Psyched. Oh, Moose is skipping the flag. Paid off, nice. Ooh, death on Psyched.
Yeah, messing up that
Still has some lead. Oh my gosh, this is so close.
Alright, Psyched on the updraft portion. So, Madeline is very floaty here. So you're going to see a lot of just like more horizontal movement or layout on the stage. And not a lot of places to land and get comfortable.
Yeah, and there's a lot of really long flag sections, a lot of sections where you don't have a checkpoint for like 10-15 seconds. Hopefully we're gonna not see any dropped spaghetti here. Psyched keeping his spaghetti on the plate right now. Moose as well. Psyched not skipping flag 10, so some runners opt to skip that flag. Doesn't save a ton of time. I could understand in a race not wanting to skip that. Moose as well not skipping flag 10. Honestly, a very solid 3,000 so far from runners, at least for, I would call it a very solid 3,000.
We are moving into flag 4 and 3.
Right.
These two have been known to change the outcome of races here. So,
all right,
we'll see how Psyched handles it here.
Psyched can hold on and not die. I think this might be his. Oh, taking it a little safe there. Might be watching the restream. Might be saying, "Hey, this is close." Oh no, Moose!
That is probably going to seal the deal here, unless Psyched makes a major mistake.
Doesn't really matter a ton. Oh no, Psyched flagged 1 death. Yeah, it's hard to die at this point. It's looking like Psyched 3210. And Moose is gonna get somewhere in the 3220s. 32-22.
Excellent race from both runners.
Yeah. Absolutely fantastic race. That was might be saying, "Hey, that was great. This is close." Oh no, Moose!
That is probably going to seal the deal here, unless Psyched makes a major mistake.
Doesn't really matter a ton. Oh no, Psyched flagged 1 death.
So I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah,
started hearing ourselves over the restream. All right. So that is the first game, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to depart for the rest of this match. So, just real quick, I'd like to thank Mr. Ike, as always, with commentating. I hope you had a good one.
Yeah, it was a pleasure commentating with you. I'm sorry for all you guys watching. You're going to be stuck with me for the next 1 or 2 races.
Oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. All right, so I'm going to...
Hello, everyone. In case you just got here, I'm Mr. Ike. It seems like the race will be starting here soon. The second race out of the best of 3 between Psyched and Moose. Hopefully it's going to be a good race. Okay, there's both Moose and Psyched starting off. Sorry about that. On my end, I'm lagging a little bit, but that's fine. We can make this work. Anyway, looks like both Psyched and Moose heading into Old Site. Moose had some little bit of unfortunate mishaps happen in Chapter 1, so looks like Psyched is going to be ahead going into Chapter 2. Nothing Moose can't make up, though. My gosh, hopefully there won't be too much more lagging, and hopefully my commentary won't get too far behind. Anyway, it looks like Psyched still has his lead from earlier on. So I'm sorry if I can't do I guess play-by-play commentary. I'm really seeing about like maybe 1 second of movement for every 5 seconds of actual time that passes. I think I'm back. Oh no, it's lagging some more. Hopefully, okay, hopefully this will stay for a little bit. Okay. Alright, we're back. So both players in the MooseSR section looking pretty nice. Not too big of a gap between the players. Psyched makes it through to the end with an 844, and Moose is going to be very close behind. $8.52. Okay, so 8-second difference between the two after Resort. Still looking close. Oh, Psyched having a death on that screen. Still keeping his lead over Moose. Getting a little bit of a shorter lead though. Oh, Moose taking a death as well. Oh, Moose taking another death. Still not super costly deaths, though. Psyched having some more issues with the auto-scroller skip. If you were here for the game 1, he died on the auto-scroller skip and then messed up what looked like the strat he was going for that time. Maybe it's just he's nervous? Not exactly sure what it is. Still looking like no major mistakes here for at least a while. Sometimes the end of Chapter 4 likes to be a little rough though. Short death for Moose. Certainly not bad. It's been a lot of short deaths here, short time losses, but no major time losses in Chapter 4 yet. Looks like so far Psyched has been... Oh! Moose taking a death on the first screen with this really strong wind. You kind of have to dash a lot to really make any progress in this wind, because without it you're just kind of going to be just staying there, not really moving to the right at all. Fortunately, since this is, you know, a speedrun, we're dashing a lot. It's going to be not too much of an impact that the wind is going to have on us. Psyched finishing it at 11:42. Looked like a cheeky little corner boost from Moose. Not sure if he was going for that or not. Might have just been a happenstance. Psyched looking like he's having a little bit of trouble on that screen after the yeet. Let's see, Moose is going for the yeet. Oh, he doesn't hyper high enough. It's one of the worst ways to fail that, unfortunately. So Psyched definitely has a pretty nice lead going into the mirror section. Nothing that Moose is completely unable of recovering. but certainly looking good for him. Ooh, nice corner boost from Moose. Or Moose, haven't seen that. Oh, and there's Psych preserving the momentum through the cutscene skip. Looks very flashy when you pay attention to it. Okay. Oh no. Moose going straight into the face of that Seeker. He must not have gotten enough height from his jump that he wanted. Let's see, hopefully Moose can handle this last screen well. Oh! Missing his wall bounce. The Seeker almost sniped him out of the air. That was really close. That would have been a really bad death for him. Alright, so we'll see how this Theo section goes. For Psyched. Moose getting search skipped nicely, using a nice reverse dash jump. It's able to skip getting some keys through that section. It's a nice little skip there. And you'll see Psyched doing ultra dashes. Unfortunately, I didn't really get to explain those, just doing a hyper dash. If you're watching, you probably know what a hyper dash is. It's just doing a downright dash out of a hyper dash, and then picking up Theo right afterwards, getting a ton of speed, going through a lot of these screens really quickly. It's extremely tough to do, but you can save a lot of time through this section using. Ooh, Moose having some issues over there. Okay, he's able to recover. Ooh, bopping the Seeker, the disrespect, Moose. Oh my gosh. Looks like, oh, the Seeker was coming back for vengeance, but was able to make it out of there. Ooh, it looks like, oh! Moose had trouble with this screen on his first game. It looks like the same thing's happening this game. Not sure what's going on there. Moose might be a little bit of rage coming out there. Might not have been very happy with his performance in Mirror Temple. Not sure what he usually gets. Oh! It was Psyched. Messing up the strat he was going for there. Fortunately not dying though, not a big time loss. Certainly not the type of thing, not the type of mistake that's going to lose him the race at this point. He has a very nice lead. Is Moose going for Lake Skip? Oh! And let's see, second try. Nice. It's quite a tough skip. It was made easier by a patch, I believe, 1.2.3.0. That probably means nothing to most of you guys in chat, but it made wall bounces easier, which subsequently made that strat easier. And we'll see Psyched in a couple spots there. What he was doing is he was bumping into the bumper while holding away from the bumper so he could get a bigger jump from it. Make some rooms nicer there. And also something kind of notable to mention, I believe there's a spot, because all these areas in reflection, you can either choose to go an upper route or a bottom route. For most of these, it's pretty standard which route people go. However, there's this one split where you can choose to go up or down, and it's pretty close which way is faster. A lot of the really high level runners have started taking the top route when it was standard to go bottom route, even though it's only like 0.3 seconds of a difference, so not something super big. This is the spot where Moose would go up, but he's going down. Ooh, Psyched some wall bounce swag on the Kevin, I'm a fan. And getting a really nice boost there. Yeah. He could do a hyper and then bunny hop to get a ton of speed, fly straight to Battlein. It's really fast. I'm a fan. Let's see Moose on this downward section here. Oh no, Moose taking a death there. Pausing a little bit. Probably not happy. Psyched taking, oh, he's taking some more deaths. Really short ones though. Oh, Psyched. Looks like he was going for the ultimate swag there. I think. I was looking at Moose's side. See Moose. There he is. Nice. Once again, doing the Battlein boost, doing a hyper bunny hop, flying straight to Battlein. Yeah, it's looking like Moose definitely has a lot of ground to catch up and less game to catch up that ground on. Hopefully, maybe he's hoping for Psyched to make some mistakes. Oh, that's not what he needs. He's opting to take the feather, not... Oh, no! Come on, Moose. You got this. Probably not used to the fact that Battlein shoots little laser balls after normal laser shots. And Psyched is done with the Battlein section. While Moose still hasn't hit the music change yet. Because the music changes and platforms start moving once you get like 2/3 or so of the way through this section. Psyched with the 2218, looking like a 608. Hard to tell exactly. Reflection, very nice. I'd be very proud of that. Though I'm not as good of a runner, so I don't know if he. I don't know if that's what he usually gets. If that's better or worse. But even if he's not really happy with it, he can definitely take that. There's a lot of time to lose right now. And it's looking like Psyched's city has, or excuse me, Psyched Summit base has been good so far, going into Summit 500. And you can see Moose having 627 reflection, losing some time over Psyched there. And we'll see. I saw Psyched doing some Dream Hypers in Game 1. I assume he'll keep doing them now. If he's watching the restream, he'll almost certainly see the lead he has. Might be going for some riskier strats. Not exactly sure. Ooh, saw that he was too low. Would have not hit the Dream Block if he did a horizontal dash at the end there. Nice recovery. Like, quite a nice 1,000 from Psyched. And it's looking like a good, based on the timer, it's looking like a good summit so far on Moose's side. So we'll see how 1,500 treats Psyched. It was good to both runners last race. Well, Psyched actually had a death on this screen in the first race. So, oh, nice, making that cycle. This is a very tough cycle to make. See how this triple ultra room goes. Oh no! Oh dear. Must not be familiar with these cycles. Is able to recover without too much time loss though. Definitely, without a doubt, still has the upper hand. Ooh, short death for Moose. Another short death. Honestly, at this point, I don't even think that he could really save it just by playing well. He's got to hope for Psyched to make some mistakes. Oh, Psyched almost missing the auto-scroller skip. Almost had some commentators cursed. Psyched still going for his swag. Oh, Moose missed the dash crystal. Tried to recover. Almost was able to, but just barely wasn't. Was a little too low. Oh no, and dashing too late, hitting the dust bunny. Let's see if he can adapt to the different cycles here. I always have trouble on this room with the different cycles upon a death. He's able to do it fine. We're just still in the entirety of 2,000 meters behind. We'll see Moose going for the auto-scroller skip, and he gets it. Very nice. Didn't even have to grab the edge of the block. Then on Psych's screen, we'll see two touch screens here. Thread the needle. Very good. Or skip. Ooh, there's one. And there's two. Had some trouble with that last race. Definitely able to get himself back together. But looks like Psyched. About to enter 3,000. Moose, hopefully, about to enter 2,500. We're seeing some nice strats from Psyched here. And very clean. You see, especially in this downdraft section, it's just pulling you to the ground a lot, and so many of the tech in this game revolves around being on the ground, and you get your dash back when you're on the ground. The movement in there is really fast. Moose not having as much trouble with Thread the Needle as he did the first time. Oh no! Psyched, not high enough to grab the ledge. That is not good for him. He's on flag 13. This is one of the tougher flags in my opinion. And he gets it. Oh, looks like he was going for a neutral wall jump there. Didn't quite get it, but was able to adjust. And Moose skipping a flag. Will it pay off? Yes, it will. And looks like Moose is going to be exiting the downdraft about when Psyched is exiting the updraft. If something changes now, then I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna eat my sock. So that same strat I said before on Psyched's side on flag 3, that might just be what he goes for normally. Because even though he had plenty of time to spare, actually this is quite close to Psyched's PB now that I noticed. I don't know how I just noticed this. And it looks like that's a PB for Psyched. Very nice job. At least I believe. Let me just check before I make myself look like a fool. I mean, I see the blue timer. But yeah, that's a 4-second PB for Psyched. Very, very nice job. Let's see Moose finishing up here. Oh, getting the flag just for safety. I respect it. I always get that flag. and he finishes with a 32-33. Nice race. We'll see if maybe either of the racers wants to join in for some post-commentary, maybe talk about the runs a little bit.
Hey.
Hello.
Okay, so both Psyched and Moose are here. Okay. Why don't we just go run by run? First run, I gotta know from both of you guys, what did you think, if you can remember, because sometimes I mix up which runs were which when I do multiple. What do you think were your strong points? What were your weak points? Tell me about it.
Like in the first run, I lost a lot of time in Golden Ridge, especially in both auto-scrollers. Like, I think I died in both auto-scrollers once.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I just remembered the first death, but there was one on both.
Yeah, and I think I lost like 26 seconds there. But apart from that, was a pretty solid run.
Nice, nice. And Moose, if you can recall, or if you would like to say anything.
My first run was a bit all over the place. It started off pretty badly with the second to last room in City.
Oh yeah, missing that.
I've developed some kind of mental block to do that room correctly.
Yeah,
I
struggle
anymore.
I always hate it when I mess up that room. It feels like the worst mistake to make in City, apart from dying. Sometimes it feels even worse than dying.
Yeah. But like I managed to pull through and that was okay. The run was good, but it wasn't good enough because I had an even better run. And then I did the same thing in run 2 and went on tilt. I just couldn't play. Oh.
I've got to ask you guys, were either of you watching the restream on either of the runs?
No. Only when I finished, like after I finished, I instantly pulled it up.
Oh, because the first race, it was very close throughout the whole thing. It was, oh my gosh, I don't know if there was a single time where you guys were more than 20 seconds apart or so. It was a really awesome watch.
Yeah, that's great, yeah. We hope that we could put on a good show and get some close races in.
Definitely.
And definitely GG Moose. I'm kind of sorry that I kicked you out, but that's how it goes, I guess.
It's like the best person who could kick me out.
I mean, it's got to be someone.
Well deserved.
Like someone's gonna lose, someone's gonna win. I guess it happens.
And I'm free. No more any.
Except for the GSA tournament in maybe the next week or something.
I might just not do that at this point. Whatever.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah, and also that PB in the second run. Like I was on very good pace. I kind of screwed it up in 3K with I think 1 or 2 deaths, but all in all, I'm really happy with that PB.
Or not at the end, in the updraft section.
Yeah.
Wasn't even. I don't know if you. Well, I mean, if you weren't watching the restream, you wouldn't have known. But I didn't even notice you're on PB pace until flag 1 or flag 2 going into flag 1.
Yeah, I was 0.2 seconds behind out of reflection, and then I saved 10 seconds in pre-K and lost 6 in 3K, so I PB'd by 4.
If only I could relate to saving time in Summit, but you know.
I feel you so much on that. Oh.
Yeah. It's gonna be hard to beat this one, because I have to sub 9 basically in Summit next time.
Still 2 seconds too slow, dude.
Yes. Still didn't beat your PB, Moose.
2 seconds.
So, I guess, do either of you have anything else you'd like to say about your runs or about anything? I don't know.
Not my runs, but thank you for commentating. I think you commentated both races, if I'm not mistaken, and I think
I had some
also, like the first race.
Some issues with my stream. Had a little bit of PowerPoint action going on. Not exactly what I wanted, but it's fine. Hopefully it was enough. Hopefully you guys at home enjoyed. There's going to be some more races, I believe, because today is like action-packed with all the Celeste races. There's going to be a race or a set of races between TGH and Flatterv coming up. Is it?
Yeah, they're racing
around
140%.
7-ish? Let me double check. But that's going to be great to watch. The 2 top runners, they're amazing. I'm going to be watching for sure. So I guess if neither of you have anything else you'd like to say, I'm done.
Yeah, same. All right, I would say thanks for watching. And
GG, both you guys.